Hey YouTube, it's Cotton Candy here, and today I will show you how to make animating textures in Blender. Alright, so for this tutorial, I'm going to keep it very simple. All I have is a plane here, just a plain mesh, one face. For animating textures, you need the UV to be proper. As this is a plane, the UV is very simple. If I hit tab, go into my face selection mode and select the face, you can see how my UV layout is. This face is basically this piece over here at the bottom, right over here. And because this is UV layout, any texture you put inside this strip will be displayed. To get this UV simple, what I did was I selected face mode, select the object, come into UV editor here and press A. What this does is selects the whole UV. Next, go to UV, unwrap Smart UV project and say OK. The next is UV pack islands. When you pack islands and say OK, if Blender rotates it, when you hit pack islands, there should be an option over here called scale and rotate. Uncheck rotation and then it should just pack the UV without rotating it. Once you have UV'd the mesh you want the texture to be animated on, go to UV, export UV layout. This will actually export a PNG version of your UV here. Once that is done, all I did was take that UV image, go to Photoshop, and you can see that it shows my UV here clearly. And then I just switched off the panel and just made the whole thing black. So it's basically just a black PNG, and now you can take it into any editing software. This is Premiere, and now you can put any text or any video or anything you want. Notice how my whole thing, the animating strip, is at the bottom. Remember, it needs to be inside the UV. Once you're done animating, go ahead and export this as an MP4. Now, let's link the animating texture into Blender. First, press the letter Z and then go into Material Preview. Select your mesh and add a material to it. I've just added a simple material, called it S for screen. Next, when you have the mesh selected, go over here or open a different view and select Shader Editor. When you have your shader editor, you will notice that Principled BSDF is the default. All I want you to do is drag and drop your MP4 file into the shader editor, and you see how Blender makes a node called Screen MP4. So it took my MP4 and it made it a node. Now let's link it. First, go ahead and delete your Principled BSDF. Take the color node of your MP4 and attach it to surface. There are a few things now you need to understand. You need to know how long your animation actually is. In my case, it was 300 frames in my Premiere Pro. So because it's 300 in Premiere Pro, I can set that frame range in Blender in your range slider. And in Premiere Pro, the frame rate is 29.97, I believe, and that is why I have set 29.97 in my Blender as well to match the frame rates of Premiere and Blender. Then what you need to do is you need to come to your animated texture and you can set your frames to 300 over here. This will tell that image, hey, you are 300 frames long. Let the start frame be 1. I want it to repeat back and forth, so I'm just going to keep it cyclic. And now, after this, if you move your timeline here, you will see that you cannot see the texture here. If you want live updates of your textures in Material View in the viewport, you need to switch on Auto Refresh. When you switch Auto Refresh, it links the texture to the viewport. And now, if you come here and press space, ta-da! You have an animating texture. But wait, there is something wrong. Now our texture is being cut on the top. There are two ways to fix this. So the first way is in your editing software. You can see that this text has a lot of gap at the bottom. If you push this down and export the MP4 again and relink it in Blender, it should work. The second way is much faster. Because you have UV'd your mesh, you can actually just alter the UV to fix your texture. And I recommend doing this in Blender because if you do it the other way, you go and jump through two softwares, so don't do that. So now to fix this, just go to Tab, Selection Mode. I've selected Face. I'm going to just select the UV face itself, press G, and you can see it moves, and look at that, it literally live updates it. So you see how easy it is to fix it in Blender. And because UV layout is just two-dimensional, X and Y, I'm just going to hit Y on my keyboard so it snaps itself to Y-axis, and then I'm just going to move this face till I feel it's perfect. And there you go. Just left click to confirm, press tab to come out of edit view, and look at that, guys. Subscribe, my muffins! And with these simple tips, you can now put animated textures in your models. And trust me, this is a beautiful way to texture. And to top this video off, this is just the screen. I just isolated it. I actually have a full model. So let me press Alt H and you can see the whole model. And that's it. It's as simple as that. That's all I wanted to do. And with that, I hope you guys enjoy this final render. Saru Vijeta signing off. See ya!